Hey guys, this is Kirop speaking, and today we are back in automation with the Merano OCD Design Challenge. And what are we going to design today? Well, nothing. We're going to look at designs of the Vega, the 1987 Vega CLS, a light sports car. And at least it's a light sports variant. And first up is the badge from the public branch of the game. And we shall start with Vaku. As always, I shall mention the design pillars of Merano. It is simplicity, elegance, and attention to detail. And, of course, classy red. And this is the first candidate. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, okay. Some line stuff going on here, which I quite like on a second look. First I thought it was like, oh, it's a little confusing, but very nice work here with the lower sides. And not so sure if this split up design for the vents is good or not, but yeah, I guess it adds a little bit of weight to the bottom. It has a bit more, less details in the middle. I'm not so sure about the highlights that are entirely yellow. Also, they are not aligned with this line coming down here, but they are aligned to that, of course. Or maybe if they were like, yeah, if they are so small, then they don't serve any particular practical purpose, I guess. High beams, not highlights. High beams. And oh, that's a nice touch. The blinker laid in between the two lines. Overall, I quite like it. Well, I quite like the front. And again, whoa, fuck me, that's a lot of work gone into this. These are all individual little vents. A bit of a square wing mirror. It's fine. Interesting way of doing the line here with something that is more of an arrow and tipping at the blinkers. It's nice. Air intake here for the brakes, I would assume, and here for the engine. And the rear. Okay. That is... I'm not so sure what this is. It is special. From this angle, it does look better. I'm not so sure why these blinkers have to be the size of America, but that's a little heavy, isn't it? Also, why another brake light there and another reverse light here? Does that make any sense to you? Yeah, let's check the Merano. Seems all right. Maybe the E is a little further from the R than from the M. Yeah, that's certainly the case. But yeah, no, that's right. Anyway, it's not terrible. Again, very nice work with this fake wing you have here, and it's working rather well. Nice wedge shape you get from the sides, but I'm not so sure about this massive blinker. No! Please don't! But other than that, I mean, it's quite good. I think this is overall, despite its flaws, its obvious flaws, I would say it's still a good design. This is a 6. Yeah, let's go with 6. And next up, the almighty Twingo. Whoop! There we go. Have the fixtures settled already? I guess they have. Okay, so let's take a closer look. This looks like a dog to some extent. I don't know why. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. These inset additional vents there make it look rather funny. Maybe these are the teeth, little teeth, and this is a bunny or something. Okay, well, this works. Pop-out headlights, yeah, kind of works. We have some ventilation there that is aligned with the bonnet. What it is for, I have no idea, but if there is a radiator up front, then okay, well, fair enough. We have some ventilation here, and of course windshield wipers, badge and blinker, all in one. Oh, look at that! Well, that's quite interesting a design, haven't seen that before. Kind of works. And we do have some pretty good lines going along the side. Looks nice sway. Not bad with the badge there, but how do you enter the door? Oh, it's up there in the window. Oh, that's weird. But, I mean, it does keep the sides clean. That is what it achieves. Let's have a look at the rear. Vega! Hey, can you make the letters larger? I can't read them. This isn't half bad. Quite like it. It looks more 90s than 80s. Well, we are an 87 design year, so this would be early 90s. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Side exhaust, double side exhaust. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, overall, this has something to it. Certainly something to it. The front is not as convincing as the rear. And I'm undecided. Is this a solid design? Is it a solid design or slightly more? Fucking hell, why is the camera so stupid? Just doesn't want to move. Just chugs along. Definitely a 90s design. Is it a 6? I believe this is a 6. Yeah, it probably is. This is a good design. Alright, let's go with this. And next up is question mark. We shall question marks design features as always. Front, very simple. Is it elegant? Nah, it doesn't have any elegant lines to it. So simple, yes, check. Positioning of the pop-up headlights is good. The size of them is good as well. The size of these lights seems appropriate. Although I would have gone with... Oh wait, these are of course a 2-in-1 light. Yeah, I can't do much about that then. I would have gone with some better alignment here with these lines. Either align them with this light there to here, or with the grill, or have the grill start so that this edge starts right beneath here. Just something to have clearer lines on your car. And overall, it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. It's quite okay. It doesn't have any design here. No ventilation, nothing. That is disappointing. We do have a blinker and massive letters for CLS. Like, I'm a coupe light sports car. Like, why do you guys have to scream so much? Does it have massive letters on the rear as well? Yes. V12! Yes. Thank you. I know. V12. Yes. Now these lights are an interesting choice. Also very 90s. And somewhat elegant as a choice. But a bit too modern, maybe? That's a bit too modern. And, well, the lettering, while not all over the place, why is this font a lot larger than this one? That is bad. Also, why? Why is the one sitting a pixel lower than the 2? No, I'm kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. It does, but that is a little too much OCD here. We don't want to evaluate cars based on that. And then we have some pretty... Why is this chugging so much? We have some pretty decent vintage there up on the roof, which makes for a good look. I don't know about its functionality, but we can all guess what they're for. So, what do we say about this? Oh, what? That is massive. That is just a massive bulge. Did someone crash into this car? That's maybe a little too much. But overall, it isn't too bad. I would say this is... is it solid? Is it solid? It definitely ticks the simple requirement. Text isn't too awful. No, it's a little below solid because of how simple it is. It doesn't do much super wrong, but it's not a solid design. Not quite. Not quite Merano solid. So you get a 4.5. And next up is Dragonoid Bite. Let's have a look at your specimen here. Okay. Lots of venting going on at the front. It looks very 80s. We are in the late 80s, early 90s with this car, though. And, there's your design feature you have on basically everything. It's not bad. It's a little odd, though. And what do we have? And the other side. Let's scroll around. The Vega. Holy shit, my OCD is firing on all cylinders. What is going on with the A? Ah! Okay. A needs to be executed. That's way too high. Also, I'm not so sure about the symmetry of this all, because the G is a lot closer to this center than the E. Ouch. But if we take that away, those criticisms, this rear actually looks quite good. I like it. It's just a bit chunky. It's a bit chunky, a bit more muscly almost, but it kind of works. Still rounded and stuff. It's like more 90s, which is fine. Not much detailing going on here. No ventilation. There's the fuel cap there. And we do have... well, nothing there in particular. A bit of vents going on there. What is the venting... How does this engine even breathe? Well, there's exit. There's exit air here. But nothing where it can come from. Anyway, so what do we think about this? What do we think about this? Doesn't seem quite right. But there are no bigger faults. Apart from the A! The A is unacceptable. But other than that, it's quite... Is it meh? Or is it solid? I would say it is right in between. It is also a 4.5. Although the rear is more like a 5. It would almost approach a 5.5 without the A being awful. So, yeah, also a 4.5. And next up is Leslo Vangelo, or Leslo Angelo. Maybe that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. You could put capital letters there to make it easier. Anyway, let's have a look at your design. No, that is the wrong button, Rob. Okay, I've restarted automation, and now the camera and the scrolling really works again. So, what do we have here? Oh, that is quite fancy. That is quite fancy. Yeah, looks retro-futuristic. And I quite like the design overall, yes. That isn't bad. Here we have a bit of badging going on. Some nice side vents. Also looking more modern. This looks more like 2000s though, doesn't it? Whoa, the camera is now speeding through. Holy shit, it's responsive. Vega CLS. That looks, yeah, kind of late 90s, 2000s, doesn't it? But it's not bad. Maybe Merano is a bit ahead of its time. Some ventilation going on there. And the side mirrors, some vents here too, okay. Overall, this is pretty solid. I like it. Has its own style. The rear is a little too much, maybe. It doesn't quite look like a Merano, but the front might. The front might. Also, you do have pop-up headlights on top of that. That is important to mention. So it would look a little different. So this is the daylight configuration. I like it. But with the somewhat weird rear. And it doesn't quite look early 90s. This kind of does, but overall maybe not quite so much. Also, this looks quite modern. I think you are at a 5.5. It's a good way towards good. Not quite there. And next up is a GF06. Whoa, what are these front headlights? And pop-ups. And more lights. What the fuck? That's a little too much. It's a little too much. That's a lot of lights. I mean, they do fit in, but I don't know. That's a bit too much. Yeah, okay, but the overall look, if you disregard the practicality of having basically a tank light installation on front of your sports car, if you're driving at night, you only have half the horsepower because you need to power the massive high beams. And then this isn't too bad, is it? Also, while I understand why you put it there, I'm not convinced this is a positive or not. These vents for the bonnet there, where there is no engine. The rear, yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Let's check out the side. How do we get there? Yeah, okay. Some arrow pointing through a blinker on a vent that does nothing. Not entirely sure about that one. This looks a little shoddy. This is a little shoddy. It doesn't quite look right from a design standpoint. The windscreen wipers are fine. And this, of course, is fine. It's so 80s, late 80s. It's perfect. Another one here. Well, I guess this one goes to the engine and this one goes to the brakes or something. And then the rear, let's have a look. We have the MO logo again that you are keen on using. We have these window panes and the Vega CLS. That's nicely done. That is nicely done. And they look aligned as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. Solid. I like the arrows through here. Do we have that as a recall in the front? We do not. That is unfortunate. That would have worked pretty well. But the rear does look good. I like it. The sides, was a little meh. I'm not sure about this. This is a little too much as well. Why do you keep framing blinkers in such a pompous way? It's not like they are important, or that focus should be given to them. And of course the massive headlights up front, but overall the design kind of works. If you imagine these things to be kind of chromey stuff instead, like bumpery stuff, and I think that might work better. But overall I still quite like the car. Something we missed on the top, we have a little antenna and a line down there. Here we have some badging going on for the refueling. Nothing there. That's fine. It's good. So, overall, is it a good design? Yeah, kinda. Kinda is. Yeah, it's not more than good. It's certainly not more than good, but I think we can go there. Yep, let's put down a 6. And next up is Micon P7. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Again, a very different look. Something weird going on here. Did the morphs change, or did you do that deliberately? Because this looks odd. Why would you not be aligning this with a bonnet end line and these lights also? Is it to get rid of that line, or what? And these are not completely covering them as intended. So some kind of pop-up going on here, I would guess, or is this some own design headlights? Overall, oh wow! Ah, okay, that's a strip for rear lighting. Whoa, what's that? Okay, well, yeah, it's not too bad, especially if you look at it from an angle. It's very busy. It does look very busy, but not bad. So the front, again, interesting design. Lots of things going on, which I'm not too sure about if they are too much busyness. Do we, for instance, need this grill, which is going below here between those? Undecided. I'm undecided. Then we have these side vents and this one. The lower lip here looks real nice. Side skirts and diffuser in the rear. And this looks very American to me. Yeah. Nice badging, nice lettering. Seem to be aligned. Seems somewhat reasonable. And overall, this is a decent look. The bar up here for brake light, additional brake light. I don't know if that is needed. Vents going down the sides. Okay, that's also a variant. And look through down here. I can see that work. Because a car like this would be very focused on the mechanical side, so it makes sense to see through a bit. So overall, what do you think about this one? What is going on here, though? Like, what? What? These aren't aligned to anything, right? Oh, well, they try to be the same height as this line, but fail at it. And then they fail at being equidistant too. Like, this is much further away than this, even if you look from here. So there's something going awry there. Other than that, there's no ventilation around here. But it's still a decent design. It's well crafted, especially in the rear. And here it's also interesting looking. Some oddball choices. I think this is a 5.5. It is almost good. It has some flaws, which it is really close to a 6. But not quite there. And this is too busy, I guess. If this was maybe a bit darker, less chromy, it would be a bit more acceptable. But overall, the layout is real good. It just looks way busy. And very American. Very Gasmian. Sorry. Very Gasmian. Not Fruinian. Anyway. 5.5. Or... nah. Second thoughts, scare up, second thoughts. No, I think this is worthy a 6. It has many good aspects to it. It's not a winning car, but it has plenty of good aspects to it. And some nice ideas. Not perfectly executed, but some nice ideas too. Alright, 6. Okay, next up, MGR99. What have you brought us today? Okay. This is a distinctly 80s/90s looking design at the front. Very square, but very orderly. It's very nicely separated into 3 slices. And yet, there is one round element to it. That's a little odd. Do we have a recall of that in the rear? No. I think that is something that has gone missing here, but the rear looks fantastic. maybe if these were the same square thing like there or there, and that would work a bit better. But this kind of stuff is beautifully made. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Is the M slightly too high compared to the O? I believe it is, but it is very nicely done. Also interesting, the offset vent here, just to grip underneath and be able to pull it up. So it's not really a vent, it's a place where you can open it up. Very nicely thought out. And, oh, this is pretty. This is nicely done. Some venting there, aligned with everything. Nice badge, of course. Number plate holder in a good spot. This just looks proper. It looks really proper. Okay, sides. Let's have a look. Yep, simple, but elegant. It works. It works. Some nice lines. Good cooling here. The blinker not framed and focused on. Yes. Some cooling here for the brakes. Something for the engine as well. This one. Yeah, no, it's not much air we get in there, but it's fine. And the rear. Yeah, that's proper beautiful. Merano Vega. Nice. V12 CLS. Yeah, I'm not so sure if this badge should be away from the corner that much, because it kind of breaks the symmetry of this one. I see what you did there, that it's probably aligned with this edge instead, like there. But then would I expect the holders to be the same size and then have that centered? Not sure. The badge here in the middle, perfect. And the only flaw I could point to, the only flaw in this I see, is that these are round. That just doesn't quite fit. Just doesn't quite fit with what design you had for going for here. This is a beautiful arrangement of the lights in the rear. Quite like that. So overall, I think this is this solid? Nah, it's better than solid. Is it good? Nah, it's better than good. Is it very good? Yes. Maybe a bit better than very good, isn't it? I think this is a bit better than very good. I think... like, the rear is an 8. That's a clear 8. The front, probably more A's. Yeah, it's almost an 8. The sides are nothing spectacular, though. Is it a 7.5 or an 8? Difficult to decide. I think this is expertly crafted overall, and that little flaw shouldn't lower the score. Shouldn't. This is an 8. This is a great design. And last but not least, the one that shall not be named. He is sad diseased. And we have your car right here in your cherry, not Merano, classy red. But it's quite a looker from the front. Pop-up style headlights on top of some daylight lights below. Nicely inlaid down here. Also some additional lights. Number plate. Yeah, this looks like a proper mid to late 80s, maybe early 90s supercar, or at least sports car. Good stuff here. Some ventilation. These maybe intrude a little too much into the gray area there. But so I would maybe have broken them up into 2, but that might look weird as well. So who knows? Who knows? Sides. Simple, yet elegant? Question mark? But here not question mark. Question mark is a different one. So is this good? Is it? I like the intakes towards the rear. It does work well with this car. It does create a double line down here. I'm not sure if you want that or not. Yeah, that does look good. Like overall, when you just look at it from a little bit of a distance, solid. Nothing fancy going on here. Antenna on top and the rear. Alright. Alright, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Vega CLS. Merano badged. Nice. Yeah, that's a good design, mate. I like it. Overall, it does tick the boxes. Nothing spectacular. The front is probably 6.5. Nice with the blinkers inlaid there, by the way. 6.5. The side is a 5. And the rear is a 7. So overall, let's give you a 6.5. And now it also comes in Merano. Classy red. Doesn't this look fantastic? Yeah. Beautiful. And next up is BF94. Let's have a look what you've crafted here. Oh, this is looking pretty good. Maybe a little too large on these. These are popping out in my eyes quite severely. But I like the general gist of it. The nice badging here with Merano being put in the center. Well, they're floating, but you can't change that. A little OCD inducing with the extra gap between the M and the E. That could have been fixed. But other than that, and the lack of gap to the O. Other than that, it's pretty good. Nice arrangement overall. Not too much going on, not too little. Quite elegant. Nice pop-up headlights. And yes, ventilation seems quite large. Fuel cap there. Yeah. Line running along the side. Could have been chrome maybe. But you're going a very non-chrome approach. So that does fit. These intakes on the side are really cool. They do work. Do work well. Gives it nice lines. Looks quite sporty as well. And what do we have there? Well, this of course is not what you wanted. Probably in your export it didn't quite look like this. Let's have a look if this goes away when we fiddle around with it. Does it go away? It doesn't? No. Now it would go away. And if you put it further back. Ah, okay. Well, there seem to be spots which are which do work and others not. So let's just say that this never happened. And what more do we have? I don't quite like the complete transparency there. And the rear looks fantastic. Yeah, that's proper 80s. Nice. Vega. Nice badging. Center brake light. Fab 365, hell yeah. And the sides, again, your golden tires. Well, that seems to be your thing. Rims, that is. This, again, is awkwardly low. And this is a very low car. You would have to almost go onto your knees in order to, to actuate that one. But it is quite the looker, isn't it? It does work. Oh, I should leave the fucking fixture page. Yes, there. And okay, let's have a look. So front, yeah, that's a 7 or 7.5. The sides, 6, and the rear, maybe even an 8. This is great stuff. I really like it. So overall, I think this is worthy of a 7. Well done. Oh, no. Let's bump it up to 7.5. This is really fucking good. Yeah. That's very good plus, almost great. And now it is time to look at the open beta bunch. First up is Accent. And there we are. Alright. Well, first impressions. Simple, but definitely working. It's a design that is functional. And not bad looking at all. Quite like that, yeah. Nicely lined up some... this is sticking out a little too much, maybe. Just barely. All nicely aligned, mostly. Not quite OCD safe, but very close to. And the front does work. I like the line that goes across all the way. It doesn't look forced or anything. It just adds a little and connects the front to the rest of the car. Good cooling. And we have no visible ventilation for the driver cabin. We have the antenna on top. This is all looking good. Line continues down to the rear. And it's the Vega. Oh, that's quite neat. Yeah, I like that. The cooling here, also good. Not so sure about this. I see that you need something there to make the composition work. To have that have red highlights? Yeah, maybe. I wonder what it would have looked like in black. I'm pretty sure you tried that first. And then decided, like, nah, this looks too samey or something. Also, what could have worked is to reproduce these three down here once again at the same distances, but then there's not enough room for the Vega. Anyway, overall, this is a very good example of a simple but very effective design. It's like this didn't nearly take as much time as some of the other designs we've seen, but it just works just as well. So, what do you think? Front? It's a good design. Simple. Maybe not quite as elegant as I would have liked, but it's good. Sides? Very solid. It's good. Blinkers, though. Where are blinkers? Well, I can see some there. So that's something I'm missing here. I don't know if this is enough in somewhat modern days for blinker. So, yeah, sides are mostly good. And the rear, also good. So, to me, this is a pretty clear 6. And next up is Infinity. You and your smushed up automation logo. It looks so strange. It always makes the car, independent of what you do, look like it has been compacted by something. Yes, the front. Some interesting elements in there. I like the lower setup here, and I mean, it's 87, so the style certainly fits. Very, very rectangular. But overall, when you look at this, doesn't this look to you like a sporty premium sedan? I think to me it does. It doesn't look like a sports car, and it certainly doesn't look like a supercar. And I mean, this is the... Oh, no, wait, that doesn't say it anymore. Oh no. Well, this doesn't look like the supercar. It is. Have you put lettering? No, only the Vega. It is unknown what this version is about. Well, I can see it here. It's the light sports version, of course. It's the CLS, but still. Okay, it's a light sports car, but a higher end light sports car. And this just doesn't convey that. But anyway, what are these blinkers doing up there? Is that to warn the birds to not fly into you? To indicate properly when you want to overtake some birds? Or something like that. I don't know. This is crazy. Also, again, with the weird as triple blinkers. Why? Why? And this doesn't look functional either. This might be a little, but this one certainly doesn't do anything. Some ventilation for the driver cabin. Nice sunroof. Well done there. And this also makes sense to some extent. And then we have antenna. Nice. And this looks sports car though. It's different look to that. This does look sports car. Not sure about the taillights. The layout is too modern and does clash with your very rectangular setups you have had so far. It's like if there were these. You have changed the aspect ratio, haven't you? This looks weird. They're all ellipsoids. If this was in a rectangular or like very sharp edges background, and then you have round taillights, that's something different. But this shape just doesn't quite fit the car. Yeah, it just doesn't go together with the rest well. Nicely done here with the Vega to use the badge background to put the name on there. And the rest, yeah, I mean the lower part does work. Some nice detailing here with the lamps, the central brake light. Your badging is quite bad though. Not this, but this. So overall, the rear kind of works. The sides, questionable in places. The front looks like it's from a different car. Or supposed to be on a different car. So, front maybe 4.5, sides 4.5, and 5.5? Maybe, yeah. Like with the better taillights, better use maybe. Like continue this grille, make it slightly larger so that it like fits flush with this edge. Goes there, and then goes down like this. Or has a hard edge here. And then put these round taillights manually, like custom ones, in there and place them like this. And it would work. It would work a lot better. Anyway, so overall I think this is a 5. Next up is Sky High. Let's have a look at your creation. Why do you make so sad cars? Look, you've made him sad. Why do you make him sad? Oh, these are pop-up headlights. Okay, interesting. It might look quite a bit less depressed when those are popped up. But you have massive lights beneath as well. I'm not so sure if that is a good choice with the... Like, everything here seems so full and just, like, let's put everything on here. Like, all the grills. Why would you do that? There's no engine there. Don't need that much grillage. I know it's difficult to cool this car, but... Yeah. If you put a radiator up front, sure. But that wouldn't need all this fucking grill area. If you also have cooling back there. Anyway... this also, the same thing, like, do you have stinky baggage or something? Like, do you drive this thing to sports training and you store your shoes in there? Okay, well, this is certainly a little awkward design. I see where you were going, but it didn't work out. And this is just overburdening full in the front. Let's take a look at the sides, though. This is also very heavy. It's not just to create a line or something. It's it looks like it's supposed to have a function, and up front there it certainly doesn't. Massive blinker on the side. Not so sure about that. Nice line down here to accentuate. But then this, what is this for? These are going in the wrong way. Like the engine is there. These should be scooping up air, not letting it out. This seems very odd. And what are these doing here? What? That doesn't make no sense. Okay, otherwise clean. Alright. Let's have a look at the rear. Oh, the rear's good. Yeah, I quite like the rear. And that is well done. It looks quite 90s, which is appropriate for a car that is designed in the late 80s. And yeah, the lettering is a little uninspired, but the rest, really good. Yeah, nice. And this is bullshit. And all this front cooling stuff is also pretty much bullshit. Well, not all of it, but should have been toned down a lot. So overall, front, maximum a 4, 3.5, 4. There's too much bullshit going on. The sides, because of this weird stuff, not more than 4.5. And the rear, probably a 7. Yeah. So overall, I shall give you this is difficult. It's such a shame for the rear. It's so well designed. But, I mean, you're not marrying a woman for her butt only, right? Because if she has a butt for a face, then, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Yes, we are going to say this is a 4.5. And we have to take a look at 3 more public version builds. First up is Mr. Petkov. And there we have it. Oh, what the? What are these bulges of doom, of golden Frenchy doom? No, they don't quite work, do they? That is a nice array of blinkers you have there, though. It's quite pretty. Well crafted. Exact spacings, following the exact line here. Very nicely made. The rest of the front, apart from these things, looks really good. Quite like it. Quite like it. I think throwing these things out and just putting some rectangular ones, rectangular headlights in here. I would assume that this ends like square-ish. So, or not square, but rectangular-ish. That would make the car look a lot less weird. So for daylight stuff there. Okay, yeah, nicely placed for the pop-up headlights there. And the sides, yes, let's look at this side. I was like, where where do you even open these? Okay, yeah, obviously there. That is cool. You have the blinkers on the sides, on the wing mirrors. Okay. Interesting location. No badging on the sides. That's fine. Don't need it everywhere. No need to boast about it. And this is a little too busy. A little too busy, but finely crafted. Yeah. It just really sticks out. Because it's so chromy. Like in the open beta version, you could have just made these black. That would have looked fantastic. Nice line you have drawn down here, which leads all the way up. This looks so natural, it's seamless. Very good. Very good. Also a nice line you are running around the car like this, connecting the wheels. You're really good at connecting front to rear, by the way. It's very nicely done. Top. Antenna, sunroof, windscreen wipers, some things for spraying it down, I would assume. And yes, all looking fancy. Windscreen wipers rear, and then, whoa, that's a little shiny and much. This looks over-designed. Yeah, this looks over-designed. I wonder though. I need to know something. We need to open the photo scene. Okay, let's have a look. Alright, wait a sec. Focus on car. It's not quite that far away. It doesn't look quite as busy here because there are not as many reflections as you see. So it's not that bad. It's not as bad as it seems. That is what I wanted to know. And that looks pretty cool, actually. But it looks like the front of the car. Don't you think that? Like, when you look at this, if the exhausts weren't there, I wouldn't be sure if this is the front or the back of the car. That's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, it's quite a looker. Look at this. Hell yeah. Yeah, of course, needs more Dutch angle. Camera tilt. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, look at this. Yes. Anyway, back to actually judging the thing. Yeah, so this does have some problems. but they are not quite as bad as they look here with all the glittering overhead lights. Still though, all cars are being judged in here for now. And this is what we have. Also, that there still remains a problem with this looks like a car from the front. So, what do we... Oh, wait. Another thing I wanted to try. Unlock and up. Go away. Ah, you're hiding shit. You're hiding some shit there. I see. Well, could have put square headlights on top there and then. Yeah. There you go. Almost centered. Not quite. Wait a sec. They need to be centered below these. Kind of. Yeah, that is less offensive. It's not great, mind you. There could be a lot more care taken in placing these, but certainly makes the car look better than the French tumors that were on front. Well, they don't really want to come back. I don't know why. Anyway, gotta judge the car. Well, the front with its what is even going on here? Oh, they're finally. They are back. Oh, just as a reminder here. Okay. Well, this is a 5.5. Probably lost a full point because of these things. Then oh man, what's going on with the game? I need to restart it. Oh, fucking hell. Now, finally. Okay, good. The sides, probably a 6. And the rear, because of its weirdness, there's some real fine craftsmanship in here, but didn't pan out. Just didn't pan out. The design doesn't quite work. Also a 5.5. So overall, I think we give you a 6 for fine craftsmanship and hope that you soon get chemotherapy to remove these. And next up is Roadkill. Let's have a look. Interesting. That's not too bad. It's certainly simple. It does work. It's not a dead face. And overall, this is quite nice. I like the black stripe going down the side. Being very connected to the front like this. Badging simple and effective. No ventilation for the cabin. No, again, no blinker. What is going on with the no blinker? Well, the black stripe along the side really works well. I like it with the M there too. Could have been framed in a different way, I guess. So it's only the blinker that is really missing. Let's have a look at the rear. Yeah, it kind of works. Probably could have gone with some kind of dual layer design there too to have recall to the front. I like the layout you have here with these being put inside. Very nicely done. Simple and effective. That works well. And now finally, it is time to use to use this font. You may use this font now. But I don't think it is too well implemented in this instance. Looks a little forced and too large. It's not elegant. It's just a Vega. So nah. Well, sides are good. Front is good. But just a fucking blinker missing. And the rear is also quite good. Quite good. Everything quite good. So it's a 6. And last but not least, our favorite wrong color user. Well, this is closer than usual, but still something we need to fix. Fuck that. Oh! Well, I had to fix my game. It somehow broke right in this recording. So I have to make a new Merano. No! This is probably the color he used. No. No. Okay. Much better. Merano red. There we have it. Something like that. I've spent approximately 20 seconds on it. So, now let's have a proper look. And front? Yeah. Yeah, it's a little interesting, interesting arrangement with these grills. And the vents on top here. Kind of trying to get this shape represented in these as well, I see. And here, so you have a bit of a repeat of that, which is good. These work well, nicely framing the front, making it look even more blocky. It's good though. And this one doesn't look too terrible. Yeah, just has no ventilation for the driver cabin, but some windscreen vipers. And what? What the fuck is this? Why? Why are those there? What do they do? And what is this? This is weird. Well, I see what it is, air intakes, but not convinced. And that is like, oh, let's put bunny ears on this car and let's have them flap down onto the rear. Like, seriously? What? Okay, let's have a look at the rear. Yeah, that's not too bad. Certainly is not too bad. It seems a little empty here. That it looks like the perfect spot to put at least a little bit of text. Merano or something. It's so nicely framed, this position, and then there's nothing there. A bit heavy on the grills down there. Not a fan. But otherwise, you've done pretty well. Okay. So, overall. Well, this is good. This is questionable. This is, so, 6, 5, and 5.5? Yeah. So, you end up at 5.5. And these were all the entries for the 1987 Vega CLS. And we do have a winner. And it is, after quite the fight though, again, MGR 99 eking out the win over BF 94. Both are fantastic designs. And MGR 99 with his rear classy, super 80s looking design. And fantastic rear to it, bringing back some vibes from the Avantis, but a bit more rounded taillights there, just beautifully badged in the rear with the text, and overall quite the looker. And I'm looking forward to driving this thing in a separate BeamNG Drive episode and see if this one handles as well as it looks. Congratulations to MGR for getting another category win, a narrow one. I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.